We went over Cam Akers last week, how there's this weird cult of people who like drafting him for no apparent reason. They just hear the name Cam Akers a lot. Well, Gabe Davis, it's time to debunk this right now, and we have the stats and ammunition to prove it. Gabe Davis goes out there. Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes play the greatest games probably of both of their careers. It's one of the greatest NFL playoff games, if not ever, including Super Bowls. And then Gabe Davis goes out there, gets 4 touchdowns, and people are like, oh my God, Gabe Davis might be somebody, even though he did nothing. And then the only reason why he was open are the Chiefs were like, Stephon Diggs cannot beat us. And then Gabe Davis was just running scot-free straight up the middle of the field, gets 4 touchdowns. Suddenly, he's the most overhyped wide receiver in the NFL because of 4 games. And what are these amazing stats that he's bringing to the table?
Okay, so last year was his best season statistically, all right?
Okay.
Over under, did he have 1,000 yards?
Under.
He had 836 yards. Over under, he had 75 catches.
Under.
He had 48 catches that year. And
48? And that was his best year?
Best season, yep. That's the most catches he's had. Not only that, his catch rate, which is, the amount of targets to how many times you receive and catch the ball, 51%. It's pretty terrible. But here's the thing for me that stands out.
What's normal for that?
Like anything above 60 is solid.
Okay.
But also keep in mind the targets, because he had 100 targets. He caught 48. That's not amazing. Not only that, his drop rate, which is the amount of times you drop the ball, is at 10%. And this is the number that I think really matters. QBR, when somebody throws it to you, how efficient are they? Josh Allen, when he threw it to Gabe Davis last year, his QBR, 80. 6 interceptions. 6 interceptions. This is somebody who led the league in interceptions. Part of the reason because of Gabe Davis.
Yeah.
Gabe Davis, I'm tired of hearing this narrative that he's a good wide receiver. For a wide receiver, too, when you have someone like Jalen Waddle, you have somebody...
Devontae
Smith. You have T. Higgins. Hell, in years past, even the Rams, they had Robert Woods. Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
The list goes on. And then you're comparing all of those guys to Gabe Davis. And your argument is, well, he scored 4 touchdowns in that one playoff game. And you know what it reminds me of? Reminds me of the Patriots fans with Malcolm Mitchell. And we've talked about this on the show before. Every time you talk about Malcolm Mitchell, they say, oh, well, he played great in the Super Bowl. Well, that's great. He played great in the Super Bowl. How has he played outside of the Super Bowl? Well, Malcolm Mitchell, God rest his soul, his injuries hurt his career. Gabe Davis, though, if you take out the 4 touchdown game, you know what he has? He's got a majority of his career dropping passes and just being the deep threat that isn't very good at being a deep threat because he doesn't catch the ball enough times.
Wow.
I mean, what's a deep threat if they don't catch the ball? What is he? Is he John Ross at this point?
He's like if Martavis Bryant didn't have the weed issues.
Yeah. Poor man's Josh Gordon, I guess.
Yeah.
He's not very quick. He's not a very efficient route runner. And he drops it too often. And Josh Allen's not trusting him anymore. So what they need to do is get another wide receiver too, because he's not a wide receiver too.